Krishna is about to show his universal form to Arjuna. See, we can't see every part of the universe sitting here, can we? Even the most advanced scientists cannot see what is going on in other parts of the universe. But a devotee like Arjun can see everything that exists in any part of the universe. So when Arjuna, he sees this beautiful universal form, the Vishwarupa, he starts offering his prayers. In other words, Krishna is showing Arjuna the future, what is yet to come once the war is going to proceed. See, when the Manhattan Project, during the Second World War, Allied forces, they felt that in order to defeat Germany, Japan, etc., Japan especially, they were like ferocious in the sense that they had policies of never surrender. So then they decided that we have to develop a weapon that can actually bring them to their knees. And that's why Manhattan Project was all about harnessing the atomic power. So you know this Robert Oppenheimer, so he was heading this entire project. And then they tested the atom bomb. And when he first witnessed the atomic explosion, this is the verse from the Gita that he quoted.
Oh really?
I am, the great destroyer of the worlds.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Pranam Prabhuji,
Ram,
how are you?
I'm doing good.
So Prabhuji, we ended chapter 10 last time, where we saw the vibhuti of Krishna, the opulence. We were explained that, amongst mountains, it is, Krishna amongst mountains, or amongst rivers, it is Ganges is Krishna. So it's like, you are being explained about, let's say, Mount Everest, without actually being shown Mount Everest, but you're being explained that, this is how Mount Everest looks like, this is how Ganges looks like. And now when we move on to the 11th chapter, we actually get the real visibility of what all of this looks like. So over to you on chapter 11, where we actually see the universal form of Krishna.
Yeah. So, the 11th chapter begins with Arjuna saying, Mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samhitam yat tvayoktam vachastena moham vigato mama. So, Arjuna is expressing his gratitude. You have shown your favor to me, anugraha, and to that you have revealed the guhyam, confidential knowledge. About
That was chapter 9, really, all the confidential, most confidential.
Most confidential, but the 10th chapter is also confidential knowledge only. So, Arjuna is very happy that Krishna is revealing very confidential parts of knowledge in the previous chapter. And he's telling that because of that, my illusion has now been dispelled. So, Arjuna's illusion is completely dispelled. And then he says, Bhavapyayo hi bhutanam shruto vistarasho maya tvattah kamalapatraksha mahatmam apichavyayam. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, and I have realized your inexhaustible glories. More specifically, the 10th chapter here. And he is using the word kamalapatraksha, which is somebody who has eyes like the petals of a lotus flower. The petals of a lotus flower have that kind of a shape, and Krishna's eyes are also like that. So, when he is using the word kamalapatraksha, it's sort of great joy. So, Arjuna, see, when you know somebody, like if I know you, and then I come to know about your greatness, true greatness. I know you are a big man already. But suppose I actually experience how great you are. At that time, my affection for you increases.
Increases, correct. That's right.
Because somebody whom I know is so great, and then you suddenly become very happy about it.
Yeah. It's the realization of the greatness, basically.
Realization of that
Yeah.
greatness. So Arjuna, he is very happy to hear Krishna's glories.
Hmm.
So in great joy is expressing this. And then he says, O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, do I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself? I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours.
Hmm.
Right? See, Moham vigato mama, he's already told in the first verse that my illusion is dispelled.
Hmm.
Now I know your actual position. But then Arjuna wants Sri Krishna to actually display that form of his
Hmm.
for the benefit of others, especially.
I see.
See, the point here is anybody can say anything in this world, right? Anybody can say that I am God.
Hmm.
And anybody can say that I have entered the cosmic manifestation and the sun rises because of me, or the oceans, amongst bodies of water, I am the ocean. Anybody can say this.
Correct.
So Arjuna wants Sri Krishna's words to be substantiated
Hmm.
for all time to come.
Hmm.
If anybody claims to be God, they have to show it.
Correct. So this is Praman now.
Praman.
He's asking for Praman.
Yes. So it's not for himself. He has complete understanding.
Hmm.
But then for the benefit of others especially.
Hmm.
If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal form. So he uses the word Yogeshwara to address Sri Krishna here.
That word is coming for the first time, actually.
Yogeshwara. See, the point here is Arjuna is expressing that मैं भले अयोग्य हूँ. I might be ayogya to see that cosmic form of yours.
Oh, I see, from that perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can make me yogya because you are Yogeshwar.
Hmm.
And then he says, and in reply, Sri Krishna, he says, My dear Arjun, O son of Pratha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of very divine and multicolored forms. So, Krishna is about to show his universal form to Arjuna. See, Prabhupada, he says some very beautiful points in his purports here. See, we can't see every part of the universe sitting here, can we? No. And also, we can see what is happening right now in any part of the universe. But by Krishna's mysticism, Arjuna was empowered to see every part of the universe all at once, and everything in the universe from past to the future all at one place.
Hmm.
That is the universal form that Krishna is about to show Arjuna.
Hmm.
And then Krishna says, Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future.
Hmm.
Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place.
Hmm.
So Prabhupada writes some beautiful lines in the purports. No one can see the entire universe while sitting in one place. Even the most advanced scientists cannot see what is going on in other parts of the universe. But a devotee like Arjun can see everything that exists in any part of the universe because of like that. And then Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, O king, he's addressing Dhritarashtra here, O king, having spoken thus, the supreme lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. And what did Arjuna see? Anekavaktra nayanam, anekadbhuta darshanam, aneka divyabharanam, divyanekodhyatadyudam, divyamalyambaradharam, divyagandhanulepanam, sarvascharyamayam devam, anantam vishvatomukham, Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. Arjuna is experiencing Adbhutta Rassa. Adbhutta Rassa is the rasa, the experience of wonder. Such magnificence is experiencing first time. So there are so many beautiful descriptions of this universal form. So we may not be able to go through every verse. So when Arjuna, he sees this beautiful universal form, the Vishwarupa, he starts offering his prayers. My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. And then, as we go through these verses, we will see that Arjuna is
Mesmerized.
And in his state of wonder, he is repeating himself also several times, over and over again. So the Acharyas, they quote something beautiful. They say that prasade vismaye harshe vi tiruktam na dushyati. They say that when a person is experiencing prasade, when a person is showing kindness, prasade, vismaye, when a person is experiencing wonder, or harshe, when a person is overjoyed, vi tiruktam na dushyati. It's natural for the person to repeat the same thing twice or thrice. You shouldn't be seen as a fault. See, in Sanskrit, punarukti, repetition is seen as a literary flaw.
You don't allow repetition normally. We saw that in the past also.
Repetition. That's true with any language actually. But when it comes to wonder, when it comes to when you're showing kindness or when you're experiencing joy, repetition is natural.
I think one has realized that. I still remember Nathdwara. When you're actually in front of the deity, you're mesmerized. Maybe tears flowing down or whatever, overjoyed. And you do tend to keep repeating over and over again at that point of time.
So then Arjuna is telling, you're the supreme primeval objective. You're the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You're inexhaustible and you're the oldest. You're the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. See, it is explained. Now in text number 20 he says, here there's a slight shift in his prayer if you observe it carefully. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. So slowly his emotion is shifting from Adbhuta to Bhayanaka. Adbhuta is a state of wonder. And Bhayanaka is a state of fear.
Fright, yes.
He's feeling fearful right now. So the explanation is given that the form that Krishna initially showed to Arjuna is actually the antaryami form of material nature or Prakriti. Antaryami is the super soul of
everything
Prakriti.
is within me.
Yes.
So
that's the form, and that contains all the devatas, etc. And once Arjuna is able to receive that form, is able to see that form, now Krishna is going to show Arjuna his form of time. Initially, the form that he showed was a form of one of the forms of Mahavishnu, it is explained. Antaryami of Prakriti or material nature. See, in the Purusha Sukta prayers, this particular form is glorified. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshaha Sahasrapat. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha means the personality with thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of feet. So that was shown to Arjuna so far. Now Krishna is about to show him. So that is described in the next 10 verses.
And why this shift? So
Because
why first the happy or the
wondrous, see, it's easier to
accept,
absorb
a happy situation?
Yeah, when you are able to accept it properly, the wondrous form, then Krishna is showing. Now, Arjuna desired to see everything. And one of the integral parts of the material creation is a time factor. Prakriti is there, but Kala is also there. See, Prakriti is activated because of the time factor. So if Arjuna is asking for Krishna's manifestation within the creation, creation includes material nature as well as time factor. Both have to be shown, one after the other. So now Arjuna is expressing further upon seeing the Kala form of God. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. All-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind, he says. And then Arjuna sees something very interesting. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth.
I see.
So initially, if you remember, Krishna had told Arjuna, I'll show you a lot of things that you'll be very interested in seeing. In other words, Krishna is showing Arjuna the future. What is yet to come once the war is going to proceed. This is what is going to happen. All of them are going to be killed. And then, as the many waves of the river flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. Waves of the river, they enter into the ocean, right? Now, waves of the river enter into the ocean helplessly. But then, in the next verse, he says, I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in the blazing fire. Moths enter into fire willingly. Rivers enter into the ocean unwillingly. See, both perspectives hold true here. The Kauravas, they had their free will. They had the choice of not entering the war also, but a lot of them willingly wanted to be part of the war, and so from that perspective, this analogy also holds true there.
And there were some who were unwillingly because they got drawn.
They got drawn.
Yes.
So both ways. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
I see.
Who are you and what's your mission? Now, of course, Arjuna has figured out that this is a Kala form, but still, verification. And then, Shri Krishna, a very famous verse. Kalosmi loka kshayakrat pravruddho lokan samaharatum iha pravrattah ratepi tvamna bhavishyanti sarve ye avastita pratyanikeshu yoda. Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. You heard this verse before? It's a very famous verse. See, when the Manhattan Project, during the Second World War, Allied forces, they felt that, in order to defeat Germany, Japan, etc., Japan especially, they were like ferocious in the sense that they had policies of never surrender. Japanese were impossible people to get over. So then they decided that we have to develop a weapon that can actually bring them to their knees.
Correct.
And that's how Manhattan Project was all about, finding, harnessing the atomic power. So you know this Robert Oppenheimer. So he was heading this entire project. And then they tested the atom bomb. And when he first witnessed the atomic explosion, this is the verse from the Gita that he quoted.
Oh, really? So let's repeat that verse again.
So he remembered this particular verse. Kalosmi loka kshayakrat pravradho lokan samaharatum iva pravrattaha. Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds. So actually Robert Oppenheimer was a very ardent student of the Gita.
I see.
And he had taken courses in Sanskrit, specifically with the purpose of learning the Sanskrit firsthand, so that he could read and understand the original verses of the Gita firsthand. Krishna explains in this form of time that I am time. And then he is telling Arjuna, Tasmat tamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshwarajyam samriddham mayaivate nihita purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. So Krishna is telling here, I am time and I am the destroyer. Now you, tasmat tvam uttishta yasho labhasva, you just get up and you fight. And you win glory. Yasha. Jitva shatrum bhungshu rajyam samriddham. Defeat your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. Mayaivate nihita purvameva. I already put these people to death. They're already dead. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. You just become an instrument in my hands. I already done it. It's already going to happen. You just become an instrument in my hands. See, there are different ways of understanding this. See, now of course in this particular context, Krishna had already planned, because especially because Draupadi was insulted in the gambling arena. And it's taken very seriously in the Vedic culture, insult to women. So Krishna had decided that Kauravas have to be killed because that cannot be pardoned. So that's another perspective. But from another perspective, Kala destroys everything in this world, isn't it?
Ultimately
everything is destroyed by time factor. See, the greatest conquerors, maybe nobody could conquer them during their lifetime. But ultimately, who defeats them? Is the time factor. Time defeats everybody. So ultimately, Kala, Krishna in the form of Kala comes out victorious in every situation of life. In due course of time. So it is explained that we have no option but to surrender to God.
Yeah.
Either you surrender to God willingly, or you have to surrender to God in the form of His Kala, in the form of His time factor. You got no real option. Say, there is this word dandavat. You know, danda is rod. Dandavat means like a rod. So when we come in front of the Supreme Lord in the form of a deity, for example, we're speaking about Nadvara. When we are face to face with the deity form of God, we fall flat in front of it. And that's called dandavat. Right?
Yes.
So that's like expressing your total surrender to God. You fall like a rod in front of God. Right? So either we fall with our head down, or we have to fall.
In any case.
But maybe the head up after we die. When we are, lying on our deathbed, or after we die on the funeral pyre. You are lying down that time also like a dandavat only, like a rod only. But your head is upwards. So the choice is ours. Whether this way or that way. But there is no real choice. That's the whole point here. And then, see, two things that Arjuna had asked, who are you and what's your mission? Right? First of all, this is Krishna coming in the form of Kala or the time factor. There's one thing. What is the mission of the time factor or Kala? What is the mission of time? Why does time destroy? Why does time destroy? I'm asking.
To keep leveling back again. You start with a certain base and you go through ups and downs based on your desires. So time is leveling you back again to your original state. Probably that's the way I'd look at it.
Okay. See, it's an interesting answer. Now, like Newton, Isaac Newton, is explained that, he was sitting beneath a tree and then he saw an apple fall. And then he wondered, the apple is falling, and then how is the apple falling? He asked this question. And then he found out the gravitational pull is bringing the apple down. And that's how science proceeds. You ask the question, how things are happening in this world. The relationship between cause and effect. A particular effect, and you try to find out the cause behind it. So, see, I'm sure you are aware of these three basic questions. What, how, and why.
Why? Yeah.
What is what you observe? The things around you. The apple is falling. The planets are rotating. And then the sun is rising, setting. So many things are happening. What you see. You try to explain that. And that is the goal of science. So science answers the question, the second question, how? What is happening, we all can see. But how things are happening, science explains that.
Yes, that's the physics, biology, and the chemistry.
Chemistry.
Correct.
But then science doesn't have an answer for why things are happening. How things are happening, but why are they happening?
But
Why?
there is a subtle difference always between how and why, isn't it?
Yes. See, that's the whole point here. Why are they happening? How they are happening, cause and effect. But what is the purpose behind it? What is the purpose behind the creation? What is the purpose behind the laws? What is the purpose of time factor?
Why does the sun rise every day?
See, why is the world created? How the world operates, science is able to find out. But why is the world created? The why question. For that, you have to become a philosopher. For that, you have to turn to theology. So, Prabhupada very beautifully answers that question in the purport here. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? This cosmic manifestation is a chance for the conditioned souls to go back to Godhead, back to home. As long as they have the domineering mentality which makes them try to lord it over material nature, they are conditioned. But anyone who can understand the plan of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. See, let me just simplify it for you here. See, when you see that everything within this world is temporary, and that is a motivating factor for you to explore a deeper source of happiness in this world. So the very fact that everything in this world is temporary, that becomes a cause of misery and suffering. And once we start experiencing the misery and the sufferings of this world, that acts as an impetus to dive deeper into spirituality and try to find out an answer to what truly can give me happiness. If everything in this world is temporary, what is the thing that is really eternal? What is the thing that is really permanent? That is the joy of the soul. See, suppose God had made everything in this world as permanent, then the joy of spiritual happiness would have been forever hidden from us. Because the world is temporary, there is an impetus to turn to spirituality.
There is a reason for turning to spirituality.
There's a reason for turning to spirituality because it's ultimately frustrating. When everything is temporary, it's ultimately frustrating. In this world, people are trying to make things as permanent as possible. But then when they realize that it cannot be made permanent, then they start wondering, ideally speaking, they have to start wondering, is there something that is really permanent? Is there really an eternal source of joy? And then they discover the joy of the soul, the joy of the spirit. So God has made things temporary through the time factor.
Yeah.
Through the time factor, things are changing, and the change is destructive change in this world. And that destructive change becomes an impetus for us to turn towards the soul that is eternal. This is the plan. This is the master plan. The ultimate goal. And that's the goal of Kaal, or the time factor here. And then Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. And then Sanjaya is telling to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. And then Arjuna, he starts offering his second set of prayers. I'm skipping a few prayers here because of the time. And then he says, Na purastad ata prashtataste namostute sarvata eva sarva ananta virya mita vikramastvam sarvam samapnoshitatosi sarvaha. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbound power, you are the master of all limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. And then Arjuna, he is offering these prayers. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
So this is as a friend, really.
So suddenly Arjuna realizes that, I didn't know he's such a so dangerous and so powerful. And then he suddenly remembers that
I've taken him for granted.
I have taken him for granted and I have dealt with him very casually, and he's begging forgiveness. So I think we'll continue in our next session.
Just quick 2 minutes before we get on to the next one. This Krishna displaying the universal form. One other piece I try and remember really is in his young age, when Yashoda asks him to open the mouth. Yeah, that time he also displays sort of the universal form, isn't it?
Yes.
Why are these two different? And these are the only 2 occasions when he does this?
See, there is an instance in the Mahabharata also when Krishna visits the Kauravas as a Shanti Doot, and Duryodhana tries to capture him. At that time also Krishna displayed kind of a universal form. But obviously, because later on we'll see that Krishna makes it very clear to Arjuna that this particular form has never been shown before.
Oh, I see.
So this particular universal form was neither shown to Duryodhana nor to Mother Yashoda also.
I see.
But there were also other kinds of universal forms. But very interesting point there also, when Yashoda Mai, she sees, so that place is Brahmanda Ghat.
I see.
Where Krishna shows Yashoda the entire universe within his mouth.
Correct.
See, the reaction of Yashoda and the reaction of Arjuna, there's a subtle difference here. Arjuna, his friendship becomes disturbed. Right? But Yashoda Mai, she also
frightened actually.
She's frightened actually.
Yes.
But then she brushes it aside and thinks that, at the end of the day, he's my son. Whenever there is lightning or thunder, he comes and hides behind my, pallu. So ultimately, he's my son only. See, so it's explained that the sweetness of Vrindavan is unmatched. Even Arjuna, because he is not part of Vrindavan Leela, even his sweetness of relationship with Sri Krishna gets disturbed when he sees the Vishwarup. But Yashoda's relationship with Krishna is so sweet and so close, so tight.
It continues the same way.
It doesn't get disturbed so much.
Yeah.
Because her closeness with Sri Krishna is overwhelming. Even when Krishna shows his universal form, it doesn't get disturbed.
Correct.
So it's explained that the residents of Vrindavan, their relationship with Sri Krishna is extremely close. Extremely close. So it's like, the dad might be the Prime Minister of India or the President. But then the children at home, they will treat the dad just
As
like
dad.
dad only.
Yeah,
Doesn't
and
matter.
vice versa. And vice versa.
Vice versa.
Correct.
So when people who are very close to you, they don't get disturbed by your Aishwarya, by your greatness.
You in office you can scream and shout at everyone, but at home you'll have to listen to your daughter, isn't it? Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Arjun is happy that Krishna has explained his vibhutis and dispelled his illusions in the previous chapter. He expresses increased joy and affection on realizing Krishna's greatness. He now requests to see Krishna's physical form, not for himself, but to substantiate Krishna's position and dispel the doubts of all people. And then Krishna shows his universal form. Hundreds of thousands of very divine and multicolored forms, all at one time, all at one place, in front of Arjun. All the present, all the past, and all the future. It is a wondrous, brilliant, and unlimited form, all expanding. Arjun experiences Adbhutta Rassa, wonder. He is mesmerized. Gradually, Krishna shifts his form from Adbhut to Bhayanak. He shows Arjun his form of time or Kaal. From the earlier Prakriti form to this Bhayanak Kaal form, Arjun now sees the demigods surrendering in fear to Krishna. He sees the Kauravas, Bhishma, Drona, and all others except the Pandavas vanishing into the Kaal form. Arjun is overwhelmed by fear, and Krishna explains that he is also the great destroyer of the world and has come to destroy all the people except the Pandavas. We understand that Kaal, or time, ultimately defeats everything. We can either surrender to God willingly, or you surrender ultimately due to Kaal. You don't have any other option. This also helps us understand that everything in the world is temporary. The what of things is explained by our senses, and the how of anything can be explained by science. However, the why of things, or the purpose behind the happenings, is not explainable unless you appreciate spirituality. Appreciation of this gives us a chance to move on the path of spirituality, thereby giving joy and happiness to the soul. We end this episode with Arjun offering the second set of prayers, surrendering to the unbound powers and begging forgiveness for treating Krishna so casually.